Okay, this is the last time I'm going to try doing this. Hey everyone, I've left my regular mic at the studio and I'm just literally jimmy rigging up an old piece of crap that I had sitting in the drawer, and I'm literally holding it, just waving it around in front of my mouth just to get this done. Yon the Decadent has come back from holiday, so we banged out an episode the other day. Honestly, I don't remember what it was that we were talking about. I know we touched on trans equality, the Coronation, John's toasty from the airport. Somehow got like a 4-hour discussion. And yeah, that's much of muchness from that point. But you know what to expect from us. Very low-hanging fruit indeed. As always, like, share, follow, subscribe. You know, we always love seeing notifications and seeing people share our stuff. So, enjoy.
There are improvement works ahead, so this train will terminate at the next station.
Fake news, folks. Fake news.
Are you Muslim?
He should have been slapped as a child. He's a spoiled little Greek brat who's probably been treated like a prince.
I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
You also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
Me.
What?
That's coming strong.
Why? Me.
Make sure the coffee's doing its job.
Is that even is that a warm-up? Is that an actual warm-up?
Yeah, it's a warm-up. It's hard to do the me.
Wasn't that in a cartoon?
Was
Hang on,
it?
here we go. Here's some voice messages. Oh, Gate. All right. Hang on. Well, let's get John on thing. Hang on, wait. Yeah. Wait.
Open the gate. The gate must be opened now. Don't. I can't stress enough that the gate must be opened. My punctuality shall not be ruined by two people who will not open the gate.
Okay, open the gate.
Wait. When did he send these?
Now, just like 2 seconds ago.
We're back.
I can't breathe. I'm going to need my inhaler.
Does everybody have their phone on silent or something?
I turned it on silent when we got in here.
John, professionalism dictates that you have your phone on silent.
Professionalism.
Well, we were here.
I didn't see a real professional.
We were here at the time that we were meant to be here. What have you got?
Oh, what did you like to know?
Okay, you need to check your head thing because I had to stuff around with the mics a bit.
Yes, I like it. Good. Excellent. Do we not have that? I can't.
I can't have that.
I can't.
I was going to say, is that your opening warm up vocal? You missed his one.
What was his opening vocal? Open the gate!
No.
What was it?
Me.
I'm positive that was from a cartoon or something.
Yeah, of course it was. That was, wasn't that Martian Manhunter? When he does the opera?
Martian Man, who?
Not Martian Manhunter. Yeah, Martian Manhunter, wasn't it?
Marvin the Martian.
Marvin the Martian, sorry.
Who the hell's Martian the Manhunter?
That's a superhero.
That sounds like a gay porno.
That's a parody. XXX.
Yes, that's a parody.
That's a superhero.
We both went there. And him to have it on VHS in his catalogue. You know what I mean?
You know what?
Like, you see, do you
What do you got there?
Donuts.
Donut. And you know what?
Hang on, wait.
I've come back with a no-nonsense attitude.
Oh, I'm dying. Please stop.
You like?
That was the other thing.
Oh.
You're lucky you actually wore them.
Why?
Because if you didn't, then I would have given you so much shit.
Oh, nice.
What? Oh, we're all actually rocking
all
a
wearing
jumper.
it. Yeah.
I was wearing this. Look, there's food stains on it. I was wearing it today.
You had to go with the white.
I threw it on.
Yeah.
I threw it on during the day because it was just there. And while I was out, I got hungry, so I bought some Kung Pao chicken. Dude, do you remember Seinfeld when they made it out like Kung Pao was like spicy as hell?
Yeah. It's not.
It's not.
No, I had it there. It's not.
It's real. Like it really isn't spicy at all.
No.
It's not just localized, yeah?
Oh, look, there's a
No,
one.
it is whitenized, like westernized.
No, but I mean,
There's meant to be chilies in it.
Look, the one in Southland,
that's your...
that's my go-to, man. I try it every day for lunch. In the food court.
His reference for
There's
everything.
an OG
Southland.
joint
It's
in
like-
Southland.
There's an AG.
You and I,
They do it right.
They do it right.
Andy and I could go on like a 6-month trek through Central America.
Central America. Nah,
The
Southland, man.
best enchiladas and the best quesadillas are in Southland.
Actually, no, you can't get a good one there. No, definitely not.
He'll argue the point as well.
Downstairs, cross from Target, you'll see it. Can't
Well, the
miss
best
it.
nazi.
Mention my name, you get free napkins.
Oh,
Stop. You alright?
what I was going
It's
to
true
say.
as well. That's the best part.
Okay, hang on. Let me just
What's
stop
true?
this.
You probably walk up there. I'll get the John special coming right up. There's like no question.
John, you know John? All right, done.
We'll give you the real food. You know, the rest is just crap.
What I was going to say was,
The rest is out of a slop bucket.
If you wait 3 minutes, it's actually in the toilet. It'll come right out.
what's up?
What? Who's not allowed? What?
Wait, wasn't your liver or something?
Yeah, I fell off the diet, but I started again today. I thought this was a jam one.
So John's come back fresh.
So you were advised from the doctor to
No,
not.
never advised. He just said you're going to cut back, that's all.
You were so
Yeah,
that's
all right.
advice.
Yeah, that's
And we're done. He just pissed himself.
And for everyone listening,
I thought it was a jam one.
we've hit new ground, and he's actually stood up and walked away. He's never done this early, man. Are you alright? That's actually advice. Doctor's orders are just suggestions, man.
You can always get a second opinion.
Oh, fuck. The second opinion's never from a doctor. It's from a relative or
It's some
something.
kumpari. Who knows better? Well, I'm
That's
gonna try
what the
that.
doctor's for. They don't know shit.
The second opinion's never from
It's
a doctor.
true though, isn't it? Yeah? The oldies will always listen to like advice from someone who, I tried this and it worked.
Yeah, or they've got the same medication.
Yeah.
Like they've been prescribed the same medication so they know more.
Yeah.
So what do you mean? The man
Take these
went-
antibiotics. They worked for me.
that was a,
That's steroids.
yeah, dude. The guy had a chesty
But if
cough.
it works, it works. What?
Oh, they're fucking ridiculous, man. They actually share prescriptions. Is it just the wogs that do it?
I think everyone does it.
Do they?
I would think so.
No, sharing prescriptions because you want to get a high out of it's one thing. I'm
Oh.
talking about like
Medicate, like, oh, you're in
Medication.
pain, your chest pain? Take
Oh.
this. I took that for my leg pain and it was fine.
I'll give
I don't know, to be honest. I've never seen it.
Do you know
but
why? It's interesting, man, right? Now that you say it, right? It's like I'm picturing the same similar symptoms, so automatically the medication must work, yeah? You ever had athlete's foot?
No.
You ever gotten it?
What is it?
It's like tinea, like an athlete. It's like your feet have like a tinea sort of fungal thing to them. It just become itchy, rashy, like stuff like that between your toes, right? It's called athlete's foot because your foot sweats, and
Yeah.
if you don't dry the moisture between your feet properly,
bacteria.
yeah. Cold storage workers are prone to it.
Oh, really?
Because you're constantly
You
you're
build
wearing-
up condensation.
Yeah, you're wearing boots and
the
you're,
air's
you're
so
walking
cold,
all
yeah.
day, and then like you're going from hot, cold, so your body physically sweats, but you're freezing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I dealt with it years ago, and you just use the cream or whatever, and it goes away. It's like it's a nothing, right? A couple of years ago, because of work, because I was playing indoor as well, and I was working in like logistics stuff, and like used to drop shit on my feet all the time. My nail like came right off, on one of my feet, and then when it grew back, it was brittle, and it actually came off again, and then the other one came off as well, just purely from kicking shit, you know what I mean, wearing boots, dropping pallets and stuff on your feet. Right at the start of COVID, when they grew back, they had like a color, like a discoloration, And I looked it up, and it was just like a fungal treatment because we're in COVID. I'm like, well, essential. You can't go anywhere. I'm not in pain. Like, it just looks like there's a discoloration, but it's not itchy. There's no smells. It's not falling off. It's fine. Yeah. I finally addressed, and that's the thing. When I finally addressed it, I'm like, oh, it's got to be this, got to be that, right? Just Google searches, whatever. Tried all the over-the-counter, like ailment treatments that you can do. So there's like a varnish, there's like a cream, there's this, there's that. I was talking to a mate of mine the other day, like last week, the week before, whatever. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm coming back from the podiatrist. And I started laughing because I just pictured Seinfeld, like straight away.
Yeah.
Who's got a reference for a podiatrist? You ever been to a podiatrist?
No.
You? Exactly.
Never.
Like, and I said, what the hell are you doing at a podiatrist?
My dad does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, he had like an ingrown nail or something, so he needed professional help. I'm like, I never considered that. Like, what does a podiatrist do? So then I thought about my toe. I'm like, you know what? This is bullshit. I've been dealing with this for 6 months
And I
now.
suppose it's where the toenail isn't growing, the skin is then very tender there too.
Oh, no.
Not tender, but
that's a different thing. So this, like, there was discoloration on my big toe, right? And it was a fungal thing, which is common again, right? Like in logistics industry and all that sort of shit, cold storage. And it said, try these remedies, and none of them seem to work. So I'm like, oh, well, that's it. I'll just cut my foot off and be done with it, right? So I actually, on my mate's call, I said, you know what, fuck it. I'll call a podiatrist. Went to one. Easily one of the most incredible human beings I've ever met in my life. This guy was amped from the second I walked in. Like, his energy levels were like here. I got like excited just to take my shoes off and show him my ailment. Like,
This is going down real fast. I mean, it sounds positive, but the socks and shoes off now.
slams the door shut.
In short, he grabs the big jug of moisturizer.
No, this guy was a technician, man. Like, literally gloved up, sussed it. He goes, yep, common as shit, la la la. Took some Cliffix to take the pathology. Done. This is what you need to do. You need to go to your doctor. You need to get a prescription for this this one pill. It's an antifungal treatment because this infection goes throughout your body. It doesn't affect anything else, but it's something that's run its course. It's transferred from foot to foot. He goes, you have no discomfort, right? I go, no, I'm fine. He goes, exactly. It's just a fungal thing. Literally does nothing. There's no other side effects. Doesn't spread. It's just this. Only way to get rid of it is through antibiotics from a doctor with a referral from a podiatrist.
Yeah.
The WOG treatments would have just been like, just take this cream and keep applying it for the rest of your life.
The treatment from the WOGs would have been, take 3 snails, make them walk over, get them to walk over something, get the juice from the bottom of them, and then rub it over your toe while you're standing on one foot and chew it on some garlic.
Garlic. I was just saying garlic.
Yeah.
Crushed up garlic, definitely somewhere in the what's it called? The formula. But I just thought about it, and I said 2 things I asked him. I go, 1, is this common? He goes, mate, I said, what are you laughing at?
No, I'm just thinking of my old man during COVID. Like, everyone's like wearing gloves and sterilizing and getting like all the highest grade, hospital grade disinfectants and stuff. And he's got like a $1 cheap ass like spray bottle at his work, and he's put vinegar and metho in it. He's like, this will kill everything. Don't worry about any of that hospital grade rubbish. Don't worry. Just come give me your hands. And he sprays it. I'm just like, oh! It's like petrol.
It would stay forever.
What was it? Vinegar and what?
Vinegar and metho. Methylated spirits.
Dude, vinegar is such a potent smell.
Yeah.
I made a salad the other day and actually spilled some of the vinegar onto like my bench, which then got onto one of my phones. Dude, this was in the kitchen. I took the phone, wiped down the bench, whatever it was, went back to the office, and I could smell vinegar.
Yeah.
I went nuts. Look, what the hell is that smell?
Yeah, so mix that with methylated spirits.
Are you serious? That's like alchemy, man.
Yeah, alchemy.
Just
because it was like, oh, close your eyes and just you can like mist it around. I'm like, what are you talking about? No.
No. Vinegar and metho.
Vinegar and metho.
I love it.
Is there any properties in that would actually work? I mean, look, they're both disinfectants, but
Historically, methylated spirits, like the WOGs have said to rub it on your chest and back when you're sick. There's no evidence of this being.
Are you serious?
There's no evidence.
Wouldn't that cause
have you never had that?
metho?
Yeah, adrivi. Like they use
man.
metho because it burns. It's
When
got
I was a
burning-
kid, all of us, right?
I
When we were all
got 2
kids.
drops on my hand
Yeah.
from...
Oh, you would, because you got dry skin, right?
Yeah, and I got like my whole hand started flaking.
Yeah.
No. Dude, my
You would
luckily-
expect that to happen.
On a body.
Yeah.
Luckily, my
Burn
mum
too.
wasn't into that witchcraft. She had her other remedies, but that one wasn't on the list. Yeah, but the metho, do you know what?
Every time, if I'd be like, oh, lie down, quick, take your top off, lie down. Just like half a bottle rubbed into my back and chest. And then like a cap or somewhere nearby, there'd be like a little bit of liquid there, just sitting there so I could smell it throughout the whole night.
I'm pretty sure that would just kill brain cells, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it does.
it's just fumes, man.
Do you feel better?
I see the universe.
I feel so good.
Your sinuses would open up, so they assume you're fine. And your demeanor's gone from shitty to pleasant. It's like, yeah, it's fine.
See, works every time.
Dude, remember a couple of years ago when Kiss first started their farewell tour?
Yeah.
It was meant to start in 2020, 2019. And we got tickets to it. And then they cancelled it because of COVID. But then on the eve of when they were meant to come back or whatever, poor Stanley got sick.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he got some fucked up flu. So they're like, look, we have to postpone. Like, we're going to postpone anyway, but health is number one. So they took like 6, 7, 8 months off the tour. And Malaka was like, flu. He goes, I should have brought him down here. I would have had the other review, like the metho out on his chest. The lead singer of Kiss getting metho rubbed on his chest by his mother. Like, right as rain, you know. Tour's back on. But no. What I was saying was, what was I saying now? Now you've thrown off my train of thought.
Me?
Yeah, it was the fucking, dickhead.
Foot
the doctor.
fungus?
Yeah, the doctor.
Yeah.
The podiatrist, I asked him 2 things. I go, is this common? And he goes, more common than you think. I go, what are we talking here? Like, how often would you see it? And he's like, any given week, at least 5, 6 times a day. I went, day? He goes, yeah. Because the appointment went for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
He goes, that common? He goes, yeah, man. He goes, anyone working in labour, anyone working, like within the labour force, cold storage especially, la. I'm like, okay. Number 2, is there any other cure for this other than having, prescription shit? And he just shook his head. He's like, no. All the crap that you see on the over-the-counter stuff wouldn't put a dent in this. You'd be sitting there exfoliating your feet for the rest of your life. You'd never even touch it. This needed drugs.
Yeah.
No other way around it. But I dealt with it for 3 years. As in, I had it as a concept for 3 years, and it was just like, well, it was only the last 6 months where I started taking evasive action on it. And, like, it took drugs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How inclined would you be to follow up something like that? Question.
No, I would, because you know how I had that whole skin condition for the last, since I've been 18. And the thing I'm not too sure on is the same specialist as well. I don't know if he misdiagnosed it as this dermatitis, or it turned out to actually be rosacea after all that time. But when he did it the second time and with the rosacea, I told you I call him kidney stones, yeah, from Friends.
Yeah.
Because he's just so definite in all his answers, just like kidney stones from Friends.
Kidney stones.
Yeah, sure. Kidney stones. So basically, the same thing. He just puts you on an antibiotic. You take it for 2 weeks and it cleared the whole thing up, never had a resurface ever since.
See, that's what annoys me about the whole COVID conspiracy thing now that I think about it, where it's like, we're going to ignore everything science has said, but these antibiotics literally turn shit around within minutes. You know what I mean? Same with like chest shit, you know, when I've had inflammation in the chest, it's like, no, this is pneumonia, borderline pneumonia, you need these drugs. And within 12 hours, you're already feeling the effects. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I reckon it's just like something that spanned over a long time of, what would you call it, like lack of education maybe, in a sense that people are aware that most drugs come from a plant source, right? But you can't just eat the plant or take the plant. Like it's
got to be derived from it.
Yeah,
it has
it's
to be,
such a heavily dosed amount of that, whatever that chemical they've taken from it is. You can't just like have some mint and be like, oh, I feel great. It's just not going to work.
Why mint?
Oh, it was just the first thing that came to my head.
That's the most pungent smelling herb, man. Mint. My mum always used to say to me, go to the fence and yell at the neighbour and tell her you want the osmo and what's the other one? Parsley, maidano. You know, stand, I'd be at the fence yelling over the fence, we need maidano, and someone would eventually shuffle out and give us like a bunch. I miss that. That's the one thing I miss about not having like a wog backyard, having like
herbs and fresh
Having-
veggies
You
and
can still
stuff.
do it.
where? A herb box.
Yeah, little pot plants.
No chance. They don't.
He can barely get any box in his apartment.
Bravo! Bravo.
He's just on fire tonight.
Ironically, he's the first bitch that came into my house. Literally.
Touche.
True.
Yeah.
I remember being in the elevator and I was like, I wonder if there's any good tail in here. There was nothing. There was just
There's nothing,
There was
man.
no one.
There was
dead.
I've got a guy who's meant to be coming in, and he's an ex-concierge at one of the buildings, like in the link. He no longer works in the system. And I'm like, okay, take 6 months. Okay, go enjoy your new job. We're creating a new identity for you. Then you're coming in. Some of the crap, you've never lived in an apartment. You've lived in apartments. Have you ever lived in apartments as big as like mine?
No, probably like max 40.
Yeah, so it was like my old place in Noble.
Yeah.
It's another world, man. Like once you live in the burbs in a house and then you go to apartments, the people you see are more concentrated. So then when something's amiss, you notice it even more. Like, you know, the old wogs when they see a strange car in the hood. This is like concentrated to the max. So you automatically see the cars in the car park. You know which cars are meant to be there. You know which aren't.
So that when you see something, it's even more obvious. Yeah.
The guest parking. Oh.
That's a standoff. Man.
Hang on, that was there yesterday.
Yeah.
And then the day after, you're like, hang on, that was there 2 days in a row now. You're only supposed to park there for 24 hours, max.
But at the same time, you've lived in the other side. You've lived like in the nice side of town. I lived in the shithole.
True.
We had cars parked in our basement that were completely overlooked.
Although, I will say
That's a big finger.
that the nice side of town has just gone down all the way at the moment.
How?
I don't know. The commission housing they've built
Where?
near me,
Where?
near Southland.
There's commission houses there.
They built it on the corner quietly. And holy shit.
Which corner? Because, man, I lived
If
there.
they had
for
gone
a
up,
year.
though,
You know where the gym
they
is?
would have had to put permits up for that.
They did.
The community would
They
have.
had it up for 1 week.
Really?
1 week, and then they got rid of it, and it was on the inside of the street.
I thought they have to leave it up there regardless
Are you
while
talking
they're
about-
doing the work.
Are you talking about where the Red Rooter used to be? On that side of Southland, where the bus stop is?
Where the bus stop is, yeah, on Chesterville.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the corner of where that big parking lot is.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the other side of that parking lot, there's a corner, and further down there's a gym.
Okay.
And then there's Macca's all
Yeah.
the way down. Yeah, so on that corner closest to Chesterville, they've built this massive black building. Huge. There's
How
no
have I not seen
signage,
it?
nothing.
Oh, but then again, when am I over there? I'm there at night. I'm usually going
it's
around.
it's a big black building. It's pretty
Yeah.
inconspicuous.
Yeah.
And it just like sits there. But the signage was up for about a week on the very inside of that street
When it was being built.
when they were like totaling the land.
Oh.
And then once they began putting the fences up and stuff, they
Do you
got
have
rid
to
of
have the
signage.
signage up there?
I thought you could have the signage up. There's a house in our street that's been going now, and they've had the board up still to this day from when they've started of what they're doing. Because they have to, because there's information on there that's safety and emergency and all that requirements.
They had that board.
But doesn't it have the plans of what's being built there anyway?
So the first week that it was up, it said what it was. And then the boards after that, they had put up multiple throughout the fence, but it never said what it was after that.
So that's council generated that property, isn't it?
I would guess so.
I wouldn't see an individual building a commission home.
no,
they-
no. It's always council.
The council sourced one of the builders that actually built my apartments to do it. So one of the local well-known builders, and they built it. So it looked like another normal building.
Mm.
And yeah, the suburb.
How'd you realise that it was that?
Because we walked past it and we were reading the sign one day. We read the sign on the inside and it said blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay, that's news. And then a week later, we walked past again because it was a normal path.
You're one of those people.
It was gone. The sign was gone. But now that it's been built for the last 3 months, there has been a lot of change in the suburb.
Just from one building.
Yeah.
Dude, Cheltenham's not cheap.
I'm aware of that.
I moved from Hyatt because it was too expensive.
It's so I've come to know a lot of the 40-year locals, right? Just walking the dog. And they've all said the same thing. I want out.
What?
No, I swear to you, they've all said the same thing. They just want to get out. There's broken glass on every sidewalk. There's shit dog shit everywhere. It's not just one or two little things. It's everywhere. You can barely step around without stepping on broken glass. You can barely go on the grass without stepping on shit. It's everywhere.
Okay, wait a second. So where do you suggest this commission house go?
Well, I don't know, just kill them off. I don't know. It's not my business.
Eugenics is the only answer in Handy's eyes. You're sounding more like him.
65% of our taxes go towards people on the dole and commission houses.
Hello?
Speaking of which, we had the King's coronation, yeah? See how John managed to get back to the country just as that happened? No coincidence, yeah?
It's plain.
I popped, on the way back, I swung past the UK. I quickly congratulated him. I said, look, I support him.
Said what you had to
I can't be
say.
seen in public.
On your way.
And I'll just continue my
Good luck.
support in the shadows.
Okay, sorry, cut you off. 60% of what?
65% of our taxes go to like people on the dole and commission housing.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah, don't
Is
they have
this-
that on
is
your
this one
tax
of-
thing?
yeah. Wait.
When you go pay your tax, it has
Is
a
this-
summary of everything your money went to.
I know that, but is that actually the fact, 65%? Am I going to have to fact check this?
It's
No,
a high
it's
amount.
on your.
It's a high amount.
It's
I haven't
on.
done my taxes in a few years
It's
now,
on
so-
your tax return.
Yeah,
So,
bad.
'cause
That's
you're
why I'm going overseas. Tax time.
Submit
I'm
it.
gone.
Submit it from overseas.
Payment required.
I'll be-
I don't know. I was overseas.
I'll be in Greece when the tax comes in. No, honestly.
Yeah, 65%.
It's a high amount, yeah.
Look, I get annoyed anytime someone bitches about tax. I get pissed off. And I straight away vent it when they say, "Oh, what are we paying for this? What are we paying for that?" I go, "Listen here, man. I live alone. I don't have any kids. I work multiple jobs to create a salary that's half respectable. So I pay a lot of fucking tax that's unwarranted.
Yeah.
I'm happy to pay it because I know what it goes to. It goes to our schools, it goes to hospitals. You know, I've had relatives in hospital that have never had to pay a single fucking dollar for everything. Do you know what I mean?
But we are one of the most highest tax countries
We
in
are.
the world.
But look at the quality of life, man. Which brings up, here's another. Dude, circle right back to the coronation of the king. There was a meme that went around today that I saw, and it's like, this is such a snapshot of the times, right? It was a picture of the royal carriage, adorned in gold and all that sort of shit with the 6 guards and horses and all that. And there were sand-filled potholes all around him on the road that they filled potholes on the route to the castle
With sand.
because they couldn't afford to repair it in time.
Well, that's a local council problem.
No,
not
but
his
that's
problem.
the whole
Yeah.
thing, the whole
Did
congression.
you know all those guards are volunteers?
What, at the Buckingham Palace? Why would you volunteer to do that?
Because it's the highest grade of privilege you can possibly do.
So then
so
how
a
do
lot of them are like ex-military, ex-police, stuff like that. They all volunteer.
wait a second. Hang
No,
on.
I thought they're standing military. part of
Or
the
standing
military.
too, yeah.
Wait a second.
That's like in America at one of the, I think it's the grave for the unnamed soldier.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the highest, reputable positions you can aim for. And it's only like, because I think they only have 2 guards there a day.
Mm-hmm.
And when they rotate, like to get that post is like very, like,
Wait, they volunteers as well.
Well, they put their name in and they try and get, they're in the military though, they're not retired or anything.
Okay.
But it's a post that they're trying
The unknown
to-
soldier thing I can understand because you're paying respect to your fallen comrades and blah, blah, blah. Being a retired military serviceman.
Well, it's a
I don't know. I don't think they're
combination.
retired. I don't think they're
volunteering
retired.
There was a
to guard
level
the
of-
king.
Huh? Yeah, because it's the highest privilege you can do for your patriotism, ego boost.
I like it.
At this point, it just looks like cosplay, man. The pageantry and all that shit. Did you watch any of it?
No.
I
I was too busy playing Age of Sigma.
I was at a Bucks on Saturday night,
Yeah.
and we left dinner to go back to the hotel room before we went out. And when we got back to the room, there was no music, nothing. I had nothing to do with the planning of this thing. All right, it wasn't one of my shindigs. And we got back to the room, and everyone's like piles in, taking a piss, whatever, changing clothes, whatever. I'm just sitting there, and I said, "Can we get some music on, man?" Okay, because I'm looking at this coronation crap. Okay, and we're sitting around, we're meant to get G'd up to go out like on a night out, and we're watching the king in like a baptismal dress, with that white lab coat, and they're trying to balance the crown in his head. Okay, this isn't exactly doing it for me, man. And I was just watching it. And it's like on mute. Okay, this is just this pageantry, because it means nothing to me. It just feels like childish cosplay. If you looked at that scene anywhere else, it's just like, what are these people doing? It's just, do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand what you're saying.
In this day
I
and
get it.
age, when you
Yeah.
consider the power and influence that the king and queen of the UK
Well, it's
have,
just a what do you call it? It's just a symbolic thing.
it's a
now.
symbolic
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
now.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Back in the day, in the Middle Ages, the king was literally on the front lines.
Well, as little as 100 years ago, it was a very important
Really?
thing still. Yeah.
100 years.
Yeah, at least.
So what, 1923.
Look, actually, no, because
No,
in World War One,
1923, World War One, that's where a lot of empires died.
yeah, no. But what I'm saying is, even though the kings and queens of England have been around, they haven't. I think there's still been a symbolic thing as further than 100 years ago. Even though it was King George in World War One.
The Greek.
No, of England. Was it King George?
World War One? Yeah, that would have been, I think.
I think it was King
Yeah.
George. I always forget
You're
the king's
disappointing
name.
me, man.
I always forget the king's name.
I think it was.
World War One.
It was a WOG.
England, World War One.
And basically, I don't know.
King George V and Queen Mary.
I don't know English.
No habla?
The way the political system has worked when the monarchy became more of a symbolic thing.
Right.
They've always been, after they kind of, started parliamentary and all that, I don't know to what extent they've had their hands in everything. It became more of an advisory thing and a symbolic headship thing.
Oh, when it moved away from government.
So I don't know how far back. World War One, were they still involved, or were they more of an advisory to the Prime Minister? I don't know.
I believe World War One, they still had a large say in it from memory.
But the thing you've got to keep in mind is that from going from World War One to today, like you were just saying before, like how many wogs are still using old world alchemy and witchcraft?
Yeah.
Like the modern world now is only probably the way it is now is probably 40 years, I reckon, 50 years.
In what sense?
Well, because you still got that crossover from the old world to the new world.
Oh, right.
You know?
Yeah.
And until like that generation's completely gone and everybody that's been born is then finally in the new world, you're still going to get that crossover.
There's still crossover today. Like the friends that I've got who have had kids now that are my age are very clearly passionate towards these old school traditions or old school beliefs.
Yeah.
And they've clearly raised their kids now to believe that, or, think the same way as they do. So there's still going to be like a level of generational corruption to that point. I think that as long as they're not forcing their kid to then go to the schools and then force their, because everyone's so vocal these days that it's like, you should believe what I believe. And I just think that there's going to be a lot of school corruption from people's ideas.
I think that's already happening.
I don't remember it happening when I was in school.
No, it wasn't. No.
What do you mean?
Everyone was everyone.
Yeah.
If you want to be that person, that's fine. No one was going to come up to you and be like, you should do this or you should be this. But I feel like nowadays it's like more forced upon each and every single individual person that you can't just be yourself without expressing it to everyone else and like telling them who you are and telling them that you should be okay with who I am. And it's just, I don't know, it's just weird.
I'm trying to make sense of what you just said.
So,
I'm not being disrespectful.
I'm
very look. See this?
Yeah.
When do I drink this?
I don't know.
Never.
All right.
It's caffeine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have got you a coffee.
There's worse things in that than the caffeine, but sure.
There's no sugar.
There's worse things, but sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I'm out of it. Like I'm not
I
feeling
thought you were trying to prove a point.
No. So I'm trying to process what you just said.
So I'll give you an example.
Can you stop?
I'll give you an
His
example.
head's on a swivel.
So let's just hypothetical, right? Hypothetically, you're a Muslim.
I love how I'm the hypothetical and you go with Muslim.
Hypothetical, you're a Jew. Okay. All right.
Wait, let me get into character. Am I an Orthodox Jew?
Orthodox Jew. You're hardcore all the way.
I think out of all of us, John's probably the most...
You got to get the curls out.
The most borderline Jewish person here would be John.
Where you got your little bag of gold around your neck?
Actually, to be fair, can you stop?
I'm putting on my sackcloth.
You need a couple of inches on the nose as well.
You're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot.
I get your little rape van, put it at the front. You good?
A little what? What did he say?
I'm going to have to go back to the edit and hear it and then delete it, whatever he said. So
let's just say you're an Orthodox Jew.
Okay.
Raised in a heavily Orthodox Jew family. They're proud of it.
Why do I do this? Seriously?
They're proud. They dress the part. They got the hair. They got the beard. They got the look. Whatever. They got the rape van. All right.
You do realize that Judaism goes beyond dressing the part.
You're the Jew. Okay. You are the Jew. So you're now
hold
raised.
On then. The coffee's
You're
not
now
kosher.
raised to believe that you are
Milk and meat.
Yeah.
You're now raised to believe that you are a hardcore Jew. Your beliefs are the correct ones, and all that stuff, and everyone else is wrong.
Sephardic, Hasidic.
That's it. Right? Pastrami, all that stuff. The delis will disagree.
My uncle's got a deli in Bensonhurst. What?
The brisket, the works, okay?
Okay.
So, now you go to school, and then you start, back in our day, you would see like a Jewish kid with the curls, and you'd be
I want to know where this is going.
whatever.
You've milked the very shit out of this. So
Hey, you asked, I'm explaining. So, but once upon a time, you would all just get along regardless.
Yeah,
the
you
Jewish
could be a
kid
Jewish
would get
kid at
along
the
with
school.
the German.
Yeah.
No one would care. That just came out. I don't know where that came from.
You might,
a
you'd
German
be the Jewish
reference
kid at
every
school.
40
That was an
seconds.
accident. I genuinely didn't even think of it. It just came out.
Get to
You're the
point.
Jewish kid at school. You might get made fun of, but in
everyone's
general,
good in the
everyone's
end.
good. Yeah.
These days, it seems like you're brought up and told that you need to express yourself and be yourself, but loud in order to be accepted. And when people don't accept you, then they're wrong.
Okay, so you're saying there's an emphasis.
But but that's got nothing to do with. I know where you're going with this, but okay, I know. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, but there's a little difference there because nowadays being religious isn't being celebrated. It's not
Well, it's
celebrated.
just one example,
But I know
right.
what you're getting at with that saying
whatever
it.
your identity is.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
It could be
I know
the way
what
you
you're getting
dress,
at. Yeah,
the way
yeah.
you think, the way
Yeah,
you
yeah.
look, your gender stuff, whatever it is, however you
Yeah.
feel, if you're gay, if you're whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that anything that makes you, these days you're told to just be loud about it
Yeah.
and be heard. And if someone doesn't agree with it, they're wrong. And I feel like that's been brought further and more into schools. Because as governments start to like buckle under that pressure, and they're like, "Yeah, this is totally okay." Like for example, recently, they cancelled the drag storytelling time.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That Mr. Andrews got up and defended it.
got up and defended it and said this is not right and you can't do that. Blah blah. Obviously, it's not right to send death threats to government officials. Right. That's wrong. At the same time, it's also wrong not to give parents a say that it's
of
are you
course.
okay with a drag queen coming and reading to your kids?
Well, essentially, those we talked about a little while ago. How about? I mean, it's not to that extent, as far as we know, because it got cancelled. But you remember how we were talking about that drag show in front of kids?
Oh, the one in Texas.
Yeah, wherever it was.
Oh, yeah.
Like they started as that show to like just storybook things. It did.
It wasn't advertised as a
Yeah.
sexual.
Okay. I think, this is the thing. There's a difference between drag shows, cross-dressing,
And a reading.
and reading and
book
caricatures
reading.
and stuff,
But
right?
correct me if I'm wrong. Drag shows historically were an adult content thing.
No, not necessarily. It's usually, it was, historically, I'm pretty sure it was just...
Wasn't it an
historically-
adult entertainment?
No, historically, I'm pretty sure it started as a caricature of, like, whatever character the actor was playing.
Yeah.
So they'd have a man dressed up. Like, dude, it's ironic, too, that Barry Humphries passed away 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
His whole career was based on a drag caricature thing.
Yeah.
No one called him a drag queen. That was just a character that he played.
Yeah.
Does it
So
make
then,
sense?
so then, what's the difference though between a drag queen and what he was doing?
Because the difference, like a drag queen...
Well, he pretended to actually be a woman, right? He never said he was a drag queen or a
No,
guy
he wasn't
in
a drag queen in the sense that RuPaul is a drag
his
queen.
character.
He was playing
that
a
he
character.
was pretending to act as was a female.
Yeah, and like Mrs. Doubtfire, man.
a flamboyant, out there.
Dude, Mrs. Doubtfire wasn't a drag queen. It
Yeah.
was a man just playing a woman to get to his kids.
Yeah.
There's 100 characters in history of film and cinema in the last 4 decades that have played cross-dressing
Yeah.
characters.
So then, why is it so bad now with these
Because the
drag queens
difference
opposed to
is
that?
the typical drag queens that you would see at the Greyhound Hotel or like Ackland Street when you go to a drag show or a cabaret show. Typically, there's a sexualized innuendo to the humor, the language, all that sort of stuff.
That's
yeah?
the part I was talking about. Yeah.
I went to like drag queen bingo like 15 years ago, right? Down at not Ackland Street. What's the one in off Chapel Street? What's the name of the street? It's right near JB Hi-Fi. There's a lot of bars and shit on there. There used to be clubs and restaurants and stuff there too. On Chapel, man, right near the
I don't know the
Safeway.
city well enough.
They shut down, didn't it?
No, you should know it, man. Like you know the street because you used to have new.
Yeah, there was a J. Oh, that's
What's the name of the street? I keep forgetting the name of it. I don't know why I'm going blank all of a sudden. There's a street off Chapel Street, right near the JB Hi-Fi, and it's got a lot of bars. It's got a lot of clubs, restaurants. and
North
things.
Road. No,
No. If I look it up, I'll hate myself for like not remembering it. Anyway,
No, not commercial.
the point of it is right. I went to a drag show bingo thing there like 15 years ago. Dude, no one got naked, no one got raped, no one got bashed. You know, it was just a drag queen hosting a bingo session, and there's a lot of like sexualized jokes and language and crude humor and things like that. Yeah, like flamboyant as fuck. The thing is that, I mean, the more right you go, the more conservative the approach is, and then so people automatically assume a drag show or drag performers would be the connotation of sexualized innuendo.
But that's what I was saying now, is that they're expressing it too far. It's not just accept me as I am
This
or
is
look or
this
whatever.
is where I have the problem, right? The funny part is with the thing in America, right? When all the drag show story time, whatever the hell it was called, right? In the same week, there were like 3 school shootings or something, right? Like when that blew up. And a lot of liberal left were saying, you know, how many kids have been killed because of a drag show? None. How many kids have been killed because of like lax
Going to
gun
school.
laws?
Yeah.
And they named like, you know, they named the names of the victims, right? So don't tell me that drag shows are what killing American culture, right? My problem is when you have a drag performer, if their show takes a sexual connotation and the sexual innuendo, the drag performer itself is not the problem. It's just it's a caricature. A child doesn't know the difference. They just see either a man dressed up as a woman or a woman dressed up as a man. It's counterculture sort of shit. It is what it is. It's when the content becomes sexualized where it's not appropriate for children.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, man?
I do. I get what you're saying, but the insinuation is that it is sexual.
The insinuation is, yeah, and that's the problem. My big problem was the fucking grid girls that they got rid of at the Grand Prix. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
They got rid of the grid girls, yeah? They got rid of the grid girls.
Did you watch that video?
Yeah,
Now you know
It's
why.
actually funny as. They got rid of the grid girls because they were being sexualized and it's misogyny and it's patriarchy that allows them. Forget the fact that the grid girls came out and protested and said, you just took our modeling jobs. Like, we worked hard to get to this point. It's like you said, the Royal Guard is the pinnacle of military service, right? For a grid girl, that's a prime modeling contract, man. You've got international, what's it called? International exposure.
Media coverage, yeah.
Media coverage. Like that is a sought after CV sort of role, yeah? They didn't ask the grid girls, they just got rid of them. Like, nah, this is misogynistic and it's a nod to patriarchy and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
They had no problem putting in trans grid girls.
Well, they have trans Greek girls now
What?
in the Formula One. Are you serious?
No.
Look it up.
When did this happen?
This year.
So anyway, I got these from America.
What are they?
Shoes. What do you mean, what are they?
Looks good.
Yeah, thank you. I looked them up when I got home.
Got a bit of a St. Patrick's Day vibe to it.
Yeah, I thought so. I like the little gold tips on the laces.
Oh, yes.
So,
Are they branded or?
yeah. The Adidas.
Oh, is it? I can't see.
So the exact same pair here in Australia
Mhm.
is like an extra $70. So I was like, let's save some money.
Pretty good.
Very good. Did a lot of good shopping.
Oh.
But yes, so yeah.
So does that mean they're going to change like the UFC girls and all the other?
I don't think what's his name? Dana
Dana White.
Dana White would have.
Here you go.
Accept that, yeah.
So, this is what I saw this year. Several years ago, grid girls were cancelled at Formula One events because they were considered too sexist. So the Australian Formula One Melbourne GP has instead just replaced those women with transgender drag queens.
Well, how is that not sexist and sexual? Too
But that's what I'm
sexualized?
saying. Look at the photo. It's like,
It's just a mockery.
yeah. Can you zoom in on that? Well, it's the same thing, but they're drag queens.
He just laughs.
No, but like that's
Can I see
fine.
the photo? I didn't see it.
Yeah. How is that acceptable? They're wearing the exact same outfits that the grid girls would have been wearing. It's like, hang on, man. How is it okay to have drag queens in the same fucking outfit? Does that make sense?
I suppose it only takes one person within a business to make that decision, doesn't it?
We're losing it, man.
No.
Well, I mean,
Do you understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's the same outfit.
It's the same thing, yeah.
It's the same outfit. Well, how is that not sexualized?
Because that's acceptable now.
But that's the problem. And the whole thing, like with, what's her name, Thomas?
Leah.
Leah Thomas. With that dude that won that chess tournament with the beard.
Oh,
The irony of it is, these initiatives were started by women,
yeah.
right? In a way to beat the patriarchy and acceptance and la la la. The only people that are going to suffer are women.
Yeah.
The only people who are winning out of this are men.
It's like,
They're
well
just
done.
milking it.
You
yeah.
just kicked, a dozen girls off the GP track.
Yeah.
They lost their jobs in modelling contracts, but let's replace them with 6 dudes.
I think somewhere along the line, the message just got lost. At some point, like, it just became ridiculous. Because, like, my partner's always been not hardcore, but she's always been like get more women into the workforce and let them,
Liberal.
Yeah, well, yeah, to a degree, right? So she's always been like, just want to see more women in power. And I'm like, well, hang on a second. I mean, you can be in power if you want to work for it. And there was this whole debate for years about, the fact that women just hold themselves back mentally because they think the workplace is toxic and it's masculine and blah, blah. And then there was actually an article that was done, a study that I ended up finding online and giving it to her, and she read it and she just blew her mind. She was like, holy shit, this has actually nailed it. So ever since then, she's sort of like started up, thinking more logically about it instead of just like, spewing shit. And so it's interesting to see, like, there's a certain level of like, let me go, women in power, etc. And then there's a disconnect. It's like, just stops. And that stop seemed to happen somewhere around that trans talk, because women were like, now what's happened is, if you talk to most women who were supportive of the whole thing, they've just turned around and now say, well, hang on a second, all they're doing now is stereotyping us, like gender roles of, now we need to dress really skimpy and wear heavy makeup and wear heels, and I don't want to do that shit. I don't want to have to go to work like that. Why are they pushing that now? Because all the trans guys who are trans women, are doing that. They're dressing really skimpy and heels and makeup, and they're making it a forceful thing. But if you look online, like, most women are coming out being like, this is bullshit. We don't want to do this. We don't want this to be a stereotype for us.
Yeah.
So it's actually causing more negative than good, by far. And again, men are causing it, so.
I don't know. It's all in the it's all in the it's all in the name of equality. But you're not the same. You can be equal, but you're not the same.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's what annoys me. You can be equal, but you're not going to be the same.
The argument for that is that women have said historically that if you have 2 managers at a higher level role, so a C level, say you have 2 chief of operations, and they're equal, the woman will get paid less, which is a fucking lie. Because if you have experience and you have proven history and you have everything under your belt, you're going to get more money. It's a simple fact. It's not about you being male or female. You're going to get paid more based on your experience and whatever kind of accolades you have behind you, your achievements that are behind you. If I go to Coles and I work next to someone at a till, the person across from me is going to be getting the same amount of money as me.
Yep.
Whether they're 5, 10, 15, whatever the age group of legal aspect is, they're going to get the same money as me, unless I'm a manager and I have a higher role.
There's a thing though, isn't there? Like, if you're older, you get you get paid a little bit more because you're older.
I don't think that exists anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think
okay.
the
Seniority doesn't get you high pay.
No. It's just because not because you're old and you deserve it. It's just like an older.
There used to be like a 15-year-old
Yeah.
thing. I'm not sure if that still exists. I don't think it does.
Not a 15. It's just kind of.
No, man. When I worked in like warehousing and stuff, typically I was surrounded by guys that were 10, 15, 20 years older than me. They were all on the same pay.
No, but there was like a child rate, like a children's rate, or
Yeah,
somewhere between like
like a
12
younger
and-
person's rate,
Your
and
pay
then there was
jumps.
an older
Once
rate.
you become an adult, your pay jumps.
Yeah.
That's standard because you have
I
to
think
start
the
paying
base
tax.
rate starts at 18. Yeah, exactly.
Once you start paying tax, then your pay will increase.
But everyone gets base rate at that point.
But each industry has its own base rate, doesn't it?
So they have to follow the guidelines set by the
But
government.
you just said it. Okay, you know what you just said, right? About the cashier on one side being exactly paid the same. Doesn't matter what age you are, doesn't matter what gender you are, whatever,
Yeah.
la la la.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Because women are only fighting for positions of upper power management because that's what it is that they're bothered about.
Yeah.
Just because, the 1% of men or whatever it is that have high
It's not reflective
positions.
of all.
Yeah, it's not reflective of the 98% of society.
Yeah.
That, you know what I mean?
Well, look at The Last of Us TV show. This is the most recent example I've got anyway. They were arguing that Bella Ramsey, the young girl, only made $250K per episode, whereas Pedro Pascal made...
I don't know who any of these people are, by the way.
You'll know his face. If you look at both of them, you'll know his face straight
I'm
away.
playing.
You know
I
that
really
meme-
have his photo in my
You know
wallet.
that meme with Nicolas Cage?
Which
It's a meme. It's Nicolas Cage looking at a dude and the guy's looking
Yeah,
at
it's
him
from that
smiling.
last Nicolas Cage movie.
The guy that's like that, that's Pedro Pascal.
Okay.
He's got a history. He's got a big history.
Yeah, he's
He's been around.
Oh, I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying I have no idea.
I'm giving you a
For
comparison.
context, yeah.
So she's done
Sorry.
possibly 2 other shows.
She was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I don't remember in Game of Thrones.
She was
Not
in the
watched
last
it.
2 seasons of Game of Thrones.
I didn't notice her. And then he's got, I don't know, like 50 shows or
20 years of experience in
many
Hollywood.
years, okay? She got
stuff
paid
going back to-
250K.
Yeah.
He got 750K. Arguably, he performed way better in the show. Like, maybe I'm being biased here, but his performance was like top tier.
He's a good actor.
He's
Yeah.
great, yeah.
Yeah.
Hers was like
I heard there was a lot of criticism about her acting.
average.
Yeah.
It was
Phoned
average.
it in. Phoned it in or just didn't?
Nah, because, look, she's
Just
still young.
inexperienced.
A lot of people loved her in Game of Thrones because her character that she was playing was a child, and she was a child actor at the time, and everybody loved her because she was like this tough as nails, like little 8-year-old who was in charge of an entire like region, and everybody fell in love with it. But now she's grown, and maybe the acting hasn't she's developed, her voice has maybe changed. Who knows?
But she hasn't up to acting chops.
Possibly, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, since then, I don't think she's done any other
Yeah.
roles. But basically, there was a big pay difference, and people were saying like she should have been paid equal amounts to him.
You don't get the same pay just for being in the same vehicle.
Exactly. That's the argument that they're making. They're saying that it's gender inequality, right there. And I'm like, what?
Okay.
He brings in money. He brought seats in to watch that show.
So everyone talks about him. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
He's on the internet everywhere.
He's
doing
like
interviews.
the big flavor at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. What's she? I haven't seen her face once.
I've only seen her in Game of Thrones, and that was it. And I only realised it was her after, because then she's like that adolescent. I don't know how old she is in real life.
She's 13, I think it said.
Oh, she's
13 or
only
14.
13 in real
Yeah,
life.
something like that.
So she's got that gangly, awkward teenager look to her
Yeah.
face at the moment. So, like, he's the one
Gangly.
I don't know.
It's a good word.
Gangly, yeah.
So just a question, right? If you went to the Sex and the City movie, right?
I wouldn't, but okay.
You got the four.
I'm already living in
This is
bed.
a
I'm
bad
already
start.
a juice. Okay, yeah.
You got the 4 lead characters, right?
Yeah.
And then
who's
you got
bringing him in?
Yeah. Then you got Mr. Big, right? Who's arguably the next big sort of supporting character. Should he be getting paid the same amount as like Sarah Jessica
Well,
Parker?
no,
and the rest of
because
them?
he's not the main character of the show, and he died. But
I'm not.
Yeah, no.
How do you know that?
because you said it.
See, I was waiting for it. That's the series. I'm talking about the movie.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm talking about the one of any of the movies. They did 2, didn't they? 2 or 3? 2.
they did 2. Didn't they do 3?
I don't know.
2.
I've never,
No,
I've
they
never
did
watched
2.
it.
I'm just saying. Okay, he's a supporting character, but he's a main character. He's not like
No,
a
a supporting character wouldn't get the same amount.
yeah. But you wouldn't expect him to be fighting the main.
And I wouldn't expect the 4 main characters of the show to get the same amount.
No, because
it's Sarah Jessica Parker that's
Parker's
the main character.
lead.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Should all the women get the same amount? No, I wouldn't. I'd
Did
say
they?
no.
Well, her character
idea.
in Last of Us isn't a main character. She's a supporting character, isn't she?
She's a main support, I would say. Like arguably the games, a lot of the games are her being the side character because you play as Joel, the main guy.
Yeah.
So that's a fair assessment to make. In the second game, it's all about her. So
Okay, here's another one. So The Simpsons. Okay, think about the main cast of like the family, not external characters. The main family. So Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa. Yeah, you got Yardley Smith who does Lisa. You got Nancy. What's her name? The one that does Marge's voice. I keep forgetting.
I don't know the name.
I keep forgetting her fucking name. You got Nancy Cartwright that does Bart, and you got Dan Castellaneta that does Homer. Yeah, who should be getting paid the most out of those 4?
Probably Dan Castellano.
I would say Homer.
Yeah.
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 When the show first started, the first 2 seasons, Nancy Cartwright probably would have had all the pull in the world because she did Bart's voice. When we were like in 1991, 1990.
But she was a more established actor, wasn't she, back then?
I think out of all of them, she was, yeah. And Bart was the focal point in the first 2 seasons. That underachiever and proud of it, don't have a cow, Carol Bunga. All the marketing was behind Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
She could have easily said, I want more money out of everyone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's what, remember we spoke about Futurama making a comeback in a
that
while.
Billy, what's his name?
Yeah. He's got, his voice is like known.
Billy West.
You'll know you know him. So when they did the reunion discussion, they sent out all the contracts and everyone signed back and said, yes, we're interested. Let's do it. Let's go ahead. That's the pay. Great. Let's do it. Except for him, the guy who plays Bender. Okay. So Bender, the guy acting, what did you say his name is?
No, Billy West is the guy that played, Fry.
No, I'm talking about Bender. Everyone agreed to the terms.
Hang on.
I
always this guy's name.
I always forget his name, but he's well known.
Bender, Futurama, it's John DiMaggio.
John DiMaggio, that's it.
Yeah.
So everyone turned around and said yes, except for him. And he's like, no, I need way more money than this. But everyone else said yes straight away. There's no negotiation. But you can't do the show without Bender.
They were going to do it without Bender. They were going to do a female.
They were going to,
Yeah.
and then the community came out and started making a big noise, and then eventually negotiations happened. But that's the point, that some people want negotiations, some people believe that they're worth more, and they'll fight for it, and rightfully so, they'll get what they ask for. And some people just cave in on the first offer.
The whole thing about this that always pisses me off about this is we're not talking, like you said before, we're not talking about everyday schmucks. We're talking about highly specialised areas.
Yes. That not everyone can just do.
That I can't just walk in tomorrow and just say, well, now Dim can't just walk in tomorrow because he's done, some a handful of ads and say, I want to get paid the same amount of money as, I don't know, who's a big Australian voice artist?
Australian voice artist?
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't know. Oh, Glenn Ridge.
Glenn Ridge. He can't just come up, rock up and say, well, I want this.
His voice has been the standard Shannon's voice, when you call up the thing.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Glenn Ridge, and you're called Shannon's. It's the same fucking voice.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He can't just rock up tomorrow and say, I want to be paid the same as him.
Exactly.
He's got to establish himself. He's got to develop a career.
I did Peter Jackson, mate. That's all I've got. You know what I mean?
But that's what I mean. But it's not
Mind
even
you, I can't find a Peter Jackson store anymore.
What do you mean? They're everywhere.
I can't find them
Southland,
anymore.
man.
No, it's not there.
Yeah, Southland.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's there.
I went there in February looking for a suit. It's not there.
Well, we're in May, and I walked past it 2 days ago.
We're on the second level?
John's clearly...
Yeah. No.
John is clearly drunk and delirious.
Clearly. I can only tell you where the best Kang Pao chicken is in Southland.
Of all of the Southern Hemisphere.
Maybe the prices were so ridiculous I ignored it.
No, man. Peter Jackson's pretty cheap. It's affordable. It really is.
I'm going to disagree.
You've got... Why?
Because I
don't care about the brand.
I would have gone in there if I saw the window prices were attractive.
Yeah, you needed those big Comic Sans signs with the big clip art.
It's like
the EB sales.
The Kapow bubble.
The bubble clouds, yeah. Sale.
Bye.
Socks and jocks, $5.
We're talking about specialised areas, and the thing that annoys me the most is not the people themselves that are saying they want the same. It's always outside influence that is saying this person should
demands
get paid
more.
Yeah,
should be demanding more.
Yeah. I'm like, well, who are you? Go home and
Well, then it just becomes that identity politics thing again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's what it is at the moment.
Did I say that about something the other day? I said, do they have nothing else to bitch about, like to get up in the morning?
Yeah, it's exhausting.
Anyway,